speak out. Freedom of speech done gone inside the gutter. Knock off when you open your mouth. Discrimination in entertainment, and you're talking about one Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows, one set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. Every picture you take and promise you make, everything you do is about clouds. Then you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them, they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Baratans too, cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to Over to You on this day, December the 27th, 2025. This is our wrap-up program for the year 2025. So I am very, very, very happy that you are able to join this evening. And of course, I appreciate you allowing this program to come in to your households. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I know we're coming off of Christmas Day and we are looking forward to the new year now. I hope each and every one of you found the time to enjoy the little Christmas with your family and friends. And yes, yesterday was Boxing Day, right? I know many of you remember back in the days, Boxing Day, you got party, you could go to the movies. We had Strandy Lux, Metropole, Astor, Globe. That's down in Tongue Day. You had Empire, you had Liberty, you had all these movie theaters around Guyana, you know. And everything on Boxing Day was movie time, eh? Everybody gone to the movies, right? But things have changed so much. Things have changed so much. But I think we need to get back to some basics. But we'll get into that later in the program. Ladies and gentlemen, please go ahead, share the link, like the broadcast. This is Over to You, a program for the people, by the people. And I want you guys to participate tonight because I want to get a feel from you guys. What issues are you looking to see get addressed in 2026? I want to know what's on your minds this evening. You guys are going to participate on tonight's program. While that, I do have a lot that I would like to discuss, okay? We're going to be here for about an hour and a half this evening, all right? So let me hit it and do the roll call for tonight. Please make sure you're in here on time so your name can call. Sandra Hanover, the freedom fighter, a pleasant good evening to you. You've been omnipresent all year long. I appreciate your support. Edward Gonzalez, the same. Appreciate your support. Bronx is in the house. Good to see you here this evening. Lorraine Beat, it's great to see you here this evening. Raquel Gentle, yes, Raquel Gentle. I see you said you're fed up. Me too, I fed up too. Big time fed up. Rhonda Tuesday, it's always a pleasure seeing you, Rhonda. Nice having you here this evening. Look forward to your contributions. Vashti Megnat, always omnipresent. Good to see you. Look, it may not have been what we were looking for, but I still believe we had a good year. We had a good year. I believe that we are making an impact as a program. So we're going to continue working hard. Roderick Henry, good to see you. Good evening. Miss Mary Figueroa, Canada is in the house. Good evening. Good evening. Good to see you. Sister Deslyn Wilson, yes, you didn't have to remind me. I knew that that's one of the call-outs I had to do this evening. Our sister Deslyn Wilson is celebrating her birthday today. To you, Deslyn, happy birthday. You know, and may you live to see a million more. We love you here, and, you know, enjoy the night, and thank you for tuning in to one of your favorite programs. Bonita Browder, a pleasant good evening to you. Welcome to the program. Yonette Yvonne Meredith, good to see you. Miss Audrey Brown, a pleasant good evening to you. Miss Audrey Brown is a true freedom fighter. Sharon Griffith, another freedom fighter. Welcome to the broadcast. June Chase, is great to see you. Welcome to the broadcast. Mr. Godfrey Williams, good to see you, sir. Good evening. Miss Susan London, good to see you. Our executive producer, Mr. Gavin Caesar, good to see you, Gavin Caesar. Miss Maxine Monroe, good to see you, Miss Monroe. Shamir Ramat, good to see you. The Honorable Miss Charlene A. Moses, good to see you. I hope all is going well. Yes, Charlene, we're gonna have some pace and power tonight. You know, we gotta put our foot on the gas a little bit, right? We ain't gonna just coast along tonight. This is the final show of the year. We gotta have a little bit of fire, you know. I mean, a lot of people try to call me a flambeau, the way I just flare up and the fire just start up. But hey, that's it. Miss Rose Cook, good to see you. Floretta Hamilton, good to see you. Desiree Simon, Liverpool, good to see you. The Honorable Mr. Jason Benjamin, good to see you. The Honorable Miss Annette Ferguson, former Member of Parliament, I owe you a call. You'll get it later this evening. Keep your phone open. Desiree Singh, good evening. Althea Jones, good evening. Miss Brenda Braithwaite, Florida is in the house. Good to see you. Good evening to you. Tessa Corbin, good to see you. Ewart Eastman, good to see you. Alexis Williams, good to see you. Miss Hazel Johnson, I may have called your name before. If not, again, good evening to you. Emily Durant, good evening to you. Is this Bella? Bella, good evening. Joy Wong, good evening. Good to see you. Nikki Innes, good evening, good evening, good evening. Miss Camille Cox, good to see you, and good night to you too. Jeff Albert, good evening. Paula Mattis, good to see you. Pleasant good evening to you. Margie 1018, good to see you. Yes, look forward to your participation this evening. Miss Darkus John, good to see you. Good to see you, everyone. Desiree Ryan, Andrew Caleb, good to see you, Mr. Caleb. Eric Morris, good to see you. Miss Marlene Thomas, Mr. Jamal Aziz, good to see you, Mr. Aziz. All right, Lucy Wilberg, Deborah Clark, good to see you. That wraps up the roll call. Don Sampson coming in late. I barely catch you. Good evening to you, Miss Sampson. And welcome to the broadcast, everyone. So, all right. Corinne Hinson, good evening. Morton Johnson, good evening. Annette Gordon, good evening. I try not to miss anybody. All right, that's it. Anyone else I'll get at the end of the program. If I miss you, I'm so sorry. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's dig in. So, our Christmas holidays, we would have just passed. Well, we're still in the festive season, but Christmas Day is now behind us, you know, and many Guyanese didn't get, you know, what they were looking for. We have a lot of complaints, brothers and sisters. Vendors complain that the sales that they're looking for this year, ladies and gentlemen, they stock up on everything and sales weren't good this year. All right. I want to know, you guys help me in the comments. Did you guys expect sales to be good this year? Or it aligned with exactly what you was expecting this year? All right. Somebody say, hey, no crash, no crash. Thank you. Maggie said no crash, Grant. All right. Soon maybe. Well, even if you get a cash grant soon, you know, it's only $100,000. That will, you know, $50,000 a shop. You know, by the time you make 2 grocery shops, and I'm sure I've seen grocery bills where people are shopping 70 grand straight off the bat. So For some people, it's going to be 2 shops for the ones who are conservative. For those people who go out there and really shop, it's going to be 1 shop, right? That $100,000. And what the installed president and his party is saying is that you're supposed to do that. You're supposed to use that $100,000, right? And you're supposed to gain, wealth. You're supposed to create wealth. Okay, with $100,000. I would like to know if we here were to take $100,000 and put into Irfaan Ali's hand and say, hey, create wealth, what he would have done with it and how he would have created the wealth. Right? Would he have created the wealth the way that his current agriculture minister would have seemed to create his wealth, which we're gonna touch on a little bit, because I'd like to dig in there just a little bit. What is he earning? About 1.4 million a month. So we're gonna try to pull that together within 5 years and see, because look, ladies and gentlemen, not to get into that right away, but if we earning $1.4 million a month, right, we still got to pay taxes. You still got home expenses and all of these things to pay, right? You still got to pay your normal utility bills. Or is it that government officials are exempt from paying utility bills? I didn't hear that they were exempt from that. But we're going to go through that, because the math is not mathing when it comes down to Zulfikar. It's not mathing. It's way off. All right? But we'll get to that. Let's get to the general populace in Guyana, the people of Guyana, and what they would have experienced over this past Christmas here. Right? The vendors are complaining. All right? No sales. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So let's look at that. Now, if you have parties, and all the parties would have done some measure of giving out hampers, right? We got to look at this thing, because the game that this installed government is playing is a very dangerous game. All right? If everybody's giving out hampers and I'm getting a hamper with a 5-pound thing of flour, 2-pound, pack of flour, a gallon bottle of cooking oil or a half-gallon bottle of cooking oil and a few this and a few that, hey, I don't have to go to the groceries and pick that up anymore. All right? If in the handouts my children are getting toys and getting all of these things, I don't have to go out and pick up toys anymore, right? That's less vending, right? You see, a lot of times in government, and there's a thing, you have to study what you're doing, right? These things weren't studied. They weren't studied properly. They weren't studied at all. If you're going to give out handouts, you got to know that there's going to be an inverse relationship to the extent and to the amount of handouts you would have given out. There is going to be an inverse relationship when it comes to sales overall, because people, there's not going to be that dire need to go there and shop. And if you go out and shop, there's going to be limitations. Now, if somebody owns a butcher shop, like Brother Jamal Aziz, he may not be affected as much, right? Because in handouts, you don't really get meat and these type of things, right? You don't get meats, and these things are still needed, right? So people are going to still go and shop for these things. But then we got to also remember, and Maji would have said it well earlier in the broadcast, that there was no crash grant. So if there's, remember, when you, and this is the thing, this is a hurtful thing with the PPP. When in your manifesto, when on the campaign trail, you're going to announce the Guyanese, you understand me, that they are going to get a $200,000 cash distribution for Christmas. What do you think happens there, ladies and gentlemen? We are talking about poor people. We are talking about a nation that 60% of the population is in poverty, and about 32 to 33% of the poverty, 32 to 33% of the population is living in extreme poverty. That $200,000 automatically goes into my budget for Christmas. I am looking forward to that, ladies and gentlemen. It's already budgeted. $200,000. Okay, I go into Brother Jamal Aziz and I picking up $50,000 worth of meat for pepper pot and all the other things that I need to make, that I need my meat kind for. Okay? $50,000 there. We're going to probably spend $30,000 to $40,000 in ties to them children. I'm talking about a household that probably a household of 4, a husband, a wife, and 2 children, 2 to 3 children. Right? And by the time they done bust up and cut up that money, and somebody was talking about Christmas lights just now. If you put in our Christmas lights and you're born in Christmas lights, that's additional with the light bill, right? I would have called for the Guyanese people to get a free month of not paying light bill. The month of December. Or let's say, all right, even if you don't want to give them a month, let's give them from the 15th of December to the 31st. Let's allow them the latitude of that time for free electricity. Anyway, it's nothing big. It's nothing big. The Guyanese people are always experiencing blackout and flickering lights, damaging their fridges, their freezers, their televisions, their air conditioners, their fans, and everything electronic for them. If they should come back to GPL with a bill for all the damage that their flickering lights would have done, it would bankrupt them completely. Although I already feel like if they are bankrupt. So overall, this is hurtful. This is hurtful to a country that is quote unquote the fastest growing economy. And this is what Guyanese had to experience at Christmas time. Right? 2015 to 2020, we didn't have oil money, but Christmas was booming. Vendors were making their money. People were shopping. Yeah, Winston Jordan, a feather in your cap, sir. You did an excellent job with what was provided to you, with what we had at the time to work with. I'm going to always make sure I call you out and give you the credit that you deserve. Okay? We were moving on the up. Our economy was starting to show great growth. I can only picture what you would have done with what we're receiving now. Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, it would have looked like magic to you guys. You would not have been able to believe your eyes. But unfortunately, what happened in 2020 happened in 2020. We might touch on that quickly before we get off tonight. So, the people of Guyana, it was not a good experience to them this past Christmas. The vendors, it wasn't a good experience to the vendors vending this past Christmas. So I asked the question, what's your intention? What are you going to do about it? The PPP as a government has done absolutely nothing to temper cost of living. Nothing. All right? Nothing. A cash distribution would not have tempered cost of living, but it would have assisted the normal Guyanese household in purchasing what they would have needed for Christmas. You heard what I said? I said need. I didn't say wants. Wants is not for the Guyanese people. The Guyanese people can't want anything. It's only the PPP and the high-level people. Friends, family, and cronies could want anything. because they have the wherewithal that they can want. They are controlling all the wealth of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. So they can always want. The Guyanese people don't know about want. They are struggling to get the basic needs. Government is failing miserably to supply their basic needs, which is what? Power and light, water, proper health care, basic. Basic. In a nation that has less than 1 million people. Could you believe that? Less than 1 million people. And it's like going to the dentist and trying to pull teeth to get it right. And it's not even to say that they're close to right. They're so far off. Hazel Johnson, I love your point. Nice, short, and sweet. Nothing lasts forever. Oh, yes. It sure cannot last forever. Because, ladies and gentlemen, in 2026, we have to build the cat. We have to. The country continues to drift away from its people. Right under your noses, Guyana is being taken away from you. I'm going to be devil's advocate tonight. I'm going to be devil's advocate tonight. It is said that 58 teetering on 60% of Guyanese is living below the poverty line. Ladies and gentlemen, the next time there is a cost of living march, protest, or whatever we want to call it, it needs to reflect that there is 60% of people in the Cooperative Republic of Guyana that is experiencing a very high measure of poverty. The statistics shows that. The turnout to these events doesn't show that, doesn't prove that. What I'm saying to the basic everyday Guyanese is that you need to start partaking in your politics. Or else you're going to be the ones that will hurt the most. And I applaud all of you watching this program, especially you in the diaspora. Because many of you guys are set. But it's because you're unselfish. You show up here every Saturday to fight. You show up here every Saturday to fight for your country. Comrade Victor Ben, this is a very good question. It's a very good question. And let me repeat Victor's question for you guys. He's asking me, Wayne, how do we get them motivated? Well, to be honest with you, Brother Ben, that's a job for the opposition to put together the necessary programs. Let me say something. If government is not working for you, everything should not come to a halt. You got to study. You got to figure out ways to make money, to raise money. You got to figure out ways to put programs in place for the people Sometimes you have to do these things without government. All right? We have to remember this. This government is out there to make specifically, let me be specific here. This government is out there to kill the PNC party. I'm going to repeat myself if anybody missed it. The PPP government party, and also there are other parties who are out there, and their intention is to kill the PNC, to make the PNC absolutely irrelevant. All right? Absolutely irrelevant. But I'll tell you something. I'll be honest with you guys here. Very blunt and honest with you guys tonight. When we look at morals and values, the PNC, and by extension APNU, is way above anyone else. And to you Guyanese, everybody who look at how much cash grant they gonna get, how much this they gonna get, that's temporary. That's temporary. Guyana is not gonna end in 10 years. Guyana is not going to end in 10 years. It's gonna be there 10 years, 20 years, 30 years from now. When I am gone, when many of us are gone, it's gonna still be there. All right? The decisions that you guys choose to make today is going to determine your tomorrow. Money. Oh, you guys think money is take you to the promised land. You guys believe that money does take you to the promised land. I'm not trying to preach tonight. I am just trying to be factual, brothers and sisters. And just hope that this broadcast could get to those less educated, that they can be educated. Money is not going to alleviate poverty. No, that's not how it works. That is not how it works. You forget morals. You forget values. You forget ethics. You forgot these things? Oh man, we got to be fundamentally sound when it comes to these three things that I would have just mentioned. We have to be fundamentally sound. Oh yes, there's another one. Educated. Oh yeah, look, you don't have to be academically sound. You don't have to be that. All right? But, come on, guys. We must be politically educated. We must be a part. We must partake in our politics. We must. That's why we're drifting away the way we're drifting away. Because we're not partaking in our politics anymore. We are allowing the PPP to look, every time they give us something, they bring in an artist. Okay? Every time they give us something, because we have shown ourselves to be weak. Thank you, Marlon Thomas. Integrity and education. Integrity and education. Yes, morals and values. Not money. You get money today, gone tomorrow. Look, when we look at the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, all right, and before I even get to that, I hope many of you had a chance to read a little piece there that Dr. Terence Campbell would have put out, where he would have depicted that what came in to the NRF, the Natural Resource Fund, from September of 2024 to September of 2025, the PPP has spent 89% of what came in. The PPP is a runaway train. They are just making unilateral decisions. That's the way everything is going. No, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's safe to say one thing here. The PNC, and by extension APNU, they're going to make a massive rebound in 2026. I am believing that. There are some fundamental things about the party that has to change. We're dealing in a different time. But I urge the leadership of the party, don't change the way you're trying to compete with people from a financial perspective. Don't worry with that. You are going to need finances. But don't try to go and share out money like a lot of people sharing out money. I believe that if we keep on pounding away at the Guyanese people, it's going to get through to them. Thank you, Brother Israel. Guyana needs a change. Yes, I agree with you. We have to keep pounding away at the people to get these points through to them. I'll give you guys a single example. When we talk about an economy and sustaining an economy, okay? When you talk about programs for the people, having these programs put in place to make sure that our people are educated. Ladies and gentlemen, we see what is happening with Venezuela currently in the United States. Okay? We have done very well. This year, Guyana has done very, very well. I am expecting GDP growth to be somewhere between 17 and 21%. That's what I'm expecting. Because we have done well. But ladies and gentlemen, this conflict between the US and Venezuela, and if the US is able to squeeze their way in and bring about regime change, and if the US is able to get their hands on Venezuela's oil, you got to ask yourself the question, how important is Guyana going to be to the oil sector at that point? We're talking about the US getting their hands on the largest reserve in the world. Okay? What does that mean for Guyana? The massive growth in GDP that you've been seeing over the last 5 to 6 years, you're just not going to see that anymore. That's economics right there. You're not going to see that anymore. That forces your economy to become sustainable with limited oil revenue coming in. It probably is going to be slashed in half. Or maybe even less. You're talking about the Demerara Bridge being absolutely free. Those things are going to change. That bridge is not paid for. That bridge has to be paid for. The Heroes Highway is going to be a toll there. All the assets that are not paid for has to be paid for. How do you pay for that? You gotta put tolls in place. The new Linden Mackenzie Bridge. Right? How do we look? We have got to start as parties, and look, I call on all the opposition parties. You guys need to stop fighting battles. And when I say battles, I mean fighting each other. Those are battles. You guys need to come together and go to war. The war is with the PPP. I shouldn't be sitting here trying to edify you guys that you guys need to come together. You guys are high level. You guys are high level. And then when you come on the show here, on any show, you discourage people. Oh, don't vote for this person. Don't vote for that person. People bumps raise. But here now, you all sit in positions of leadership in these parties. I don't care who you be. You need to come together. That is the call of the Guyanese people. It's not Wayne Caesar. You need to come together. The Guyanese people, there are a lot of people that understand that the PPP is not good for Guyana, but they are forced to align themselves with the PPP because of the silly behaviors on the side of the opposition. You guys are putting together meetings with each other. I don't care what status you are as a leader in a party. Your responsibility is to show up to that meeting. You agree to it. I don't care who you be. You agree to a meeting. Show up to the meeting. Start showing up to all party meetings. It is imperative. You have 60% of a population living in poverty. These meetings become so much more significant and important. Ladies and gentlemen, 2026, man. We as a people, let's change our posture. Okay? Let's change our posture to a posture that ego is not going to be tolerated. If you have an ego and you want to spread your ego out like if you is the man, see the door. This is a team game. This is a man game. This is a team game. All right? Ain't nobody superior. This is a team game. And on the team, you're going to have leaders. I see some good leaders. Dr. Vincent Adams, the Honorable former Minister of Finance, Winston Jordan. I can see a lot of leaders, Dr. David Hines. Right? There's a lot of leaders. Those that I would have just called their names, they don't allow their ego to get the better of them. They are well balanced. Okay? They are well balanced. Mr. Ernest Elliott. Yes, Wayne, I am totally in agreement with you. Mr. Elliott, thank you. Your endorsement means a lot to me. Your endorsement of what is being said here means a lot to me. Means a lot to my audience. Good evening, Miss Rhonda Lane. A pleasant good evening to you. It's a team game. And on a team, ladies and gentlemen, we all know this, but I'm going to just regurgitate. on a team, every individual matters. Let's say it's a basketball team, for example, and Victor Ben is our small forward and he goes down with a leg injury. They're going to go to the bench and say, Wayne Caesar, get up off the bench, you playing, Victor is down. He got to go and rehab, you playing. So everybody's important. Let's treat everybody as if they are important. You don't have to look far. You could just look. Look, I would encourage you to look at the Over to You program. The interaction with this audience and myself. We treat each other with dignity and respect. Their comments matter. I go off after every program and read into these comments. You can't fight your way up to position, and then when you get into position, you just sit down. This is not fair to people. That's not fair to people. And this year, we're going to hold everybody accountable. We're not just holding the PPP accountable, ladies and gentlemen. We are not going to just hold people accountable conveniently. We know that the PPP is horrible. We know that we're going to hold them accountable. But at the same time, let's pivot to the other side. The opposition will be held equally accountable. And John is saying, Apno and Win, stop the pointing of fingers. Y'all need to come together for all the Guyanese people. She's correct. She's correct. Get it right. Get it right. The Guyanese people ain't trying to hear that thing what AFC pull off. Oh, we are grounding. They end up grounding for a whole year and then they end up being grounded without that one seat. We're not going to allow history to repeat itself. You know, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes I worry about going back to Guyana and all this kind of stuff, but I'll tell you this. My plans as of right now in 2026 is to go back to Guyana. I need to. I need to go back to Guyana. I need to. All right? Because we're not going to just allow hooligans to just come and walk over and just take away our country like that. Right? If you want to be a cowboy or want to be a hooligan, go somewhere else. Go somewhere else. I don't know if you guys saw that little altercation where they had outside of I think the bar is Red Dragon. I've been watching it. I think Mr. Rickford Burke would have posted it on his page. I just want to point out quickly to that police officer. I believe his name is Ned. Yes, I'll call your name. I'll call your name Ned. That's your name. That's your name, because I'll tell you, outside of being behind that gun, you're absolutely nothing. And you see, there's the problem. That's the problem. The way you slapped up and you treat that man outside of that bar. You understand me? There was no need for that. There was no need for that. You treated him that way because you had a firearm. You guys pull out your firearm and you guys point your firearms at people and do all these type of things. And this government does nothing about it. You guys are the real Uncle Toms of society, man. You brutalize and beat your own people. You're so dunce. You see the job that you do right now? That's a job that derived from slavery. It angers me, man. When I see the way that men behave when they have a firearm in their hand, it really angers me because I'm not a firearm guy. This is going to stop, though. Normal Guyanese, this is going to stop when you guys stop frequenting these places. Let the policemen them go and frequent these places. All right? Because I can say the policemen just frequent these places as well as frequent the cathedral area. That's what you guys do. And then you guys come and you beat up on your clients. Yes, your clients is the citizens of Guyana. Your clients are the citizens of Guyana. Boss man go live exactly where he only does that because of a gun in hand. Otherwise, he's not. And yes, I'm not going to say the last word, but I got your point. I got your point, brother. And that's exactly how I feel. How you feel, that's exactly how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. The PPP is responsible for the development of these killers. The PPP is responsible for the development of these menaces to Guyana society. Okay? The PPP, the People's Progressive Party Civic, is responsible for these type of people. Hired guns to harass and murder. And then when it's day clean, they act like if they are part of the Guyana police force. Look, everything is going to come to an end, you know. Right? We had a viewer that said that everything is going to come to an end. The book of Ecclesiastes also said there's a season for everything. We're going to do our studies and we're going to get with it in 2026. We're going to get with it. All right? We got to get with it when it comes to electoral reform. Claudette Singh can't continue to sit down there and posture. And here, Anil Giddens, you've retired. Hey, I hope you retire from everything because here you're not going to do. You're not going to be retiring from GCOM to be given a position in charge of Guyana's national data. No. No. Out. You had your time. You didn't play fair. The Guyanese people don't want you. The Guyanese people don't want Claudette Singh. The Guyanese people don't want anybody who's a part of the current GCOM body. And I say it, anybody, I know everybody. I'm saying it, none of you. None of you. Because it doesn't matter what level you're at, you see wrong, you call it. You believe in the scope of my job. I can be asked to perform analysis or to do something that does not meet generally accepted accounting principles or does not align with what the federal government or a state government would accept. You think I would do it? No one can get me to do anything that is not within the scope and the confines of the law. So all of you who want to sit down in a lower position watch all the skullduggery, and then expect to be promoted up to a higher position. No, the people of Guyana don't want you either. You are a part of the problem. So all of you who had aspirations, GECOM need to go all new. All new. We need people with integrity, people with values, people with an appetite to serve the people of Guyana. We need people who are ethically sound. We need people who are independent in both fact and appearance. That's what we need. Then we can be confident that when the electorate goes to the poll, it is their vote that is essentially determining who is going to be the managers of their nation. The PPP at the 2025 elections. This is why I was really pissed when somebody told me, Wayne, could you extrapolate numbers? Extrapolate what? The PPP gave themselves 36 seats and split the rest of the spoils amongst everybody else. They gave themselves those 36 seats. I'm not being bad. Please, guys. But you guys know I'm objective. Right? I don't hold anything back. We got to speak on matters. We, the people, were made to understand that if the PPP rig the 2025 elections, there would be repercussions. Well, I'm happy that I did not hold my breath. And that is what I'm meaning when I say they need to be fundamental change at the top of APNU. Because here, we got to say what we mean and mean what we say. Again, we got to say what we mean and mean what we say. Good. Boss Mangle is good. Good. He's mopping up nicely. He's mopping up nicely. Posture got to change in 2025, man. All right? Look, the APNU is a mass entity. The PNC is a mass entity. I'm going to say this to you, ladies and gentlemen. There's no easy task leading that PNC party, you know. It's not easy. All right? It is not easy. Right? It's not easy leading that party. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, as a leader, there are certain qualities that one must possess. And I believe one of the number one qualities in a leader must be the quality to be able to delegate. Because the minute you start delegating, you're in a good position. The minute that you understand the resources that are around you, you're in a great position. Because I could turn and tell Aunt John, I said, Aunt John, come to my office, let's sit down and have a talk. And I said, Aunt John, you, Marlon Thomas, and Mary Figueroa, the three of y'all gonna put together a team that the three of you are gonna lead. And y'all focus is electoral reform. I said, whether y'all choose to protest or whatever y'all choose to do, I am 100% behind you guys. But let's get on with it. And you go through your organization creating these subgroups that are focusing on different issues that are affecting the Guyanese people. That's what you do as a leader. Thank you, Evelyn Obermoller. Thank you. Thank you very much. "2026 is a new year. We know what we've experienced in 2025. Okay? The people of Guyana was lied to. They were deceived. The PPP cheated. The PPP used state resources for campaigning. Okay? We need strong campaign rules and regulations that needs to be passed in Parliament. And seeing that I am on Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, seeing that I'm on Parliament, let me stay there for 5 quick minutes. I think it's, all right, by 8:10 I should come off of Parliament. Let me just stay there for a couple minutes here quick. The Speaker of the House, Manzoor Nadir, it has been said that you're out of Guyana. Well, now I have received communication that you're on the ground in Guyana. Within the first half of January, Parliament needs to convene and an opposition leader needs to be elected. You guys are really playing with the Guyanese people. And I don't care who is backing you guys. We have rules and regulations in Guyana also. Okay? We are not subject to anyone else's rules. We are supposed to be a sovereign nation. The people of Guyana never asked you guys to sell out their sovereignty. They have not asked the PPP to do that. To be honest, ladies and gentlemen, let me say this. An opposition leader must be elected. Now, if they have a problem with preemptively who is going to be elected as the opposition leader, they should have addressed that way down the road. Not wait until that person would have ascended all the way to that position, then to try to close doors. Not wait until you would have everybody would have been sworn in to the 13th Parliament, and then you're trying to close doors. That is not fundamentally correct. You can't do that because of who the person may be. I may have a problem with who the person is also. I have already given out my lashes. I can't just keep giving out lashes all the time. I have to be objective. This is who I am. I have to be objective. Right is right, wrong is wrong. Get the opposition leader in place. Let him execute his duties. I believe one of the problems here, ladies and gentlemen, one of the fundamental issues here is that the PPP may be afraid that these parties do come together, because if these opposition parties come together, they are going to pose a serious problem to the PPP. If the opposition parties come together, like Brother Israel would have said last week, and I have been harping on for weeks, there's going to be a problem. And the problem will not be on the side of the opposition. There's going to be a problem for the PPP. All the parties across the opposition, Liberty and Justice Party with Simona Brooms, the Honorable Simona Brooms, Dr. Simona Brooms. For what is left of the AFC, I think Brother David Patterson is working on trying to pull that together. I wish him all the best on that. The Forward Guyana movement that has the People's Movement, VPAC, right? And of course, the umbrella, Forward Guyana movement, the Honorable Mr. Manso Walton this year. The Win Party, new party, but they're there. They're there. They have 16 seats. Okay? It's the choice of the Guyanese people. It's the choice of the Guyanese people. Then we have the APNU. Right? With the PPP and the APNU being the PPP and the PNC that is within the APNU, and also the WPA to some extent, being the three oldest parties across the board. I would have seen a comment from a viewer saying, Wayne, you cannot tell the people who to vote for. I've never done that, and I will never do it. I'm here to represent the people. This is a people thing. There's a people thing. But the APNU has a lot of favor with me. I favor the party. I like the tardiness. I like how they do things. They're very tidy with how they do things. I don't like people paying people for votes and paying for this and paying for that. I don't like that. But if you've done that, there's always an opportunity to clean it up and come with good policy. Like the APNU comes with good policy. You got to bring good policy to the table. No. Some of you went out and you vote for $200,000. This is what you vote for. Christmas come and you was made to sit down like a lappy dog. I hope you learned something from that. I hope there was something to learn from that. All right? I hope there was something to learn from that. And in the new year, look, in the new year, I want to say this, and I think Brother Wayne Archer hit on this last week on the call. Look, brothers and sisters, I know if each of you could get to 5 people in Guyana, I want you guys to encourage, because you guys can do it more than I could ever do it, because there's so many of you and it's just me. Encourage Guyanese to watch programs that are going to be edifying. Encourage Guyanese to watch programs that's going to be objective. We're going to have objective, independent thinkers. Okay? People that are going to tell and speak the truth. Because the truth needs to be heard. It's the truth that is going to set the people of Guyana free. And there's no truth in the PPP. It's proven. You were just promised $200,000. $200,000 over the duration of the next 5 years is not good enough. It's not good enough. And I want to open you guys' eyes on something. You as a people shouldn't want to have a ceiling as to how far you are going to be able to advance in life as an individual. You don't want to have a ceiling here right on top of your head. You say, oh my God, Wayne sees you can't go any farther. You have met the ceiling. And I don't want that for you either. But essentially, ladies and gentlemen, what this government is doing to you guys, they are setting the ceiling for you. Okay? Instead, guys, of going to Parliament and putting into law and setting a threshold that says, hey, once we receive this amount from natural resources, the Guyanese people are entitled to this percentage as a cash distribution. You heard what I said, ladies and gentlemen. Taking it to Parliament and putting it into law. That way, you guys do not have to come and sit up. I think it was a Thursday night, or I don't know, I might have gotten it wrong, or Wednesday night. I ain't sure which night it is. But you guys sit down and listen to a bundle of garbage. Many of us, I did a whole hour plus of garbage to, in the end, hear that the Guyanese people are not getting a cash distribution. That was all fluff. All he was talking was a bundle of fluff. All right? Then he and his wife and the children, I don't like talking about people family, but I got to take this shot. Everybody in the nice pajamas and all of that. And the PPP supporters, when you talk about it, say, oh, y'all jealous, y'all this, y'all that. Hey, I ain't jealous. But what I'm trying to say to you, and if you guys can't get it through your skulls, PPP supporters, I am trying to say to you that I ain't dressing up in no pajama and hugging up and cuddling up. I may do that at home in my own private space, but I'm not having no pictures taken to send out to my people that 60% of them is living in poverty. That ain't making sense. Make that make sense. I am supposed to be happy with somebody at Christmas who have me living 60% of me and my Matty living in poverty, and I am supposed to be happy. That's what you guys are trying to tell us. Well, here, I gonna say this to all the PPP supporters, all of them out there, that we ain't hearing that, and we ain't hearing that for 2026. Things got to change. Things got to change drastically. Guyana is not an Indo state. Guyana got 6 ethnic groups, and it's going to be proven in 2026. Or it's going to be proven. We got to stop this thing where we come and we want to be politically correct. No, it hasn't gotten us anywhere. They are a set of orangutans. They don't understand us being politically correct. Look, I don't care about y'all. I don't care about y'all and y'all policemen. They can't come to me. There is always somebody out there who's not going to stand the nonsense. You're looking at one of them. Then some of you guys, now you guys on the program, some of you Guyanese, we out there fighting for betterment for you guys. And when you're done, you turn and you curse us. When you're done, you turn and you curse us. I don't have to do this, but I love my country and I love the people of my country. All the people of my country, doesn't matter what walk of life you come from, it doesn't matter your ethnicity. You understand me? I would love to see across the board we demonstrate love one for another. But for some of you, you have allowed Barry Jagdeo to condition you. And that's my problem. That's my problem. You don't bow to another man. Think independently. Many of you sugar workers, you all need to think how you all was just forced to be sugar workers and cut cane. And then you got your son coming up. He doesn't even get the opportunity to really explore a formal education. He is then taken into the fields to cut cane. Who knows if he could have been a lawyer, doctor, or a public accountant? Who knows? I am sorry, ladies and gentlemen, if I may have gotten a bit emotional. But I believe that everybody's life matters. Neville Sital said, away in the media. Neville, you're right. You're right. NCN, Newsroom. Oh, the propaganda channels of the PPP. You guys always try to shape everything and put the optics out there that everything is fine. You see how you are running to Sophia quickly when that young 27-year-old father of 2 would have been shot dead. PPP is not Wayne Caesar. It's you guys that got all them guns on the ground. PPP is not Wayne Caesar. It's you guys are them big shipments that they catch coming in with guns to Guyana. PPP is not Wayne Caesar. It's you guys make Guyana a cowboy state. Mr. Mark Benchcop had a certain interview this week. I can't wait for the second interview and the third interviews to see what they look like. In my dreams, I would have never thought this is what the Cooperative Republic of Guyana would have become. Michelle Boyer, can we take care of all Guyanese? Absolutely. Enough revenue comes into the nation that can take care of all Guyanese. My numbers tell me Guyana would have about 550,000 adults. And if you want, we could round it up and carry it to 600,000 adults. But if we're going with a total of 550,000 adults, then the cost for a cash distribution is 55 billion. Why would I have a problem allocating $110 billion to my people? Why would I have a problem? Victor Ben, Mr. Victor Ben, we have to wait to see. Michelle Boyer said, what's the problem? Michelle, the PPP is the problem. Is the PPP taking care of all Guyanese? Just asking for a friend. In your opinion, Michelle, is the PPP taking care of all Guyanese? Are the PPP trying their best for all Guyanese? I don't believe that the PPP is taking care of all Guyanese. That's number one, and they're not trying their best. John C. Paul is saying to me, Wayne, Guyana will become worse before it begins to get better. I didn't see an answer if the PPP is taking care of all Guyana. Well, what's the solution? Okay, what's the solution? We have been talking about the opposition, all the opposition parties getting together because there must be a solution. The PPP could never be the solution. The PPP must not be the solution. Okay? You can't get the same air. Here we can't have, guys. We can't have the demolition team be the rebuilding team. How could the demolition team and the rebuilding team be the same team? Look what the PPP have done to Guyana. Our solution, simple. Simple. The Guyanese people need to be involved in their politics and stand behind their leaders. All opposition party, all on sundry, need to work on one accord. Put aside the egos, put aside how many seats you earn, put aside all of that. Because some of us are going to have our strengths and some of us are going to have our weaknesses. Some of us are going to have a lot of years experience in parliament. Some of us will not have any. So we all would need to lean on each other. Jit Singh, thank you. Jit Singh said the PPP is taking care of themselves. Absolutely. So if they're sitting there now taking care of themselves, how can they be the solution for the Guyanese people? I want the person that asks the question to think here. When you take a position as president or you take a position in cabinet, what should your first purpose be? To serve the Cooperative Republic of Guyana and its people, not yourself. That alone, conversation done. We don't need to ask about what solution and all that anymore. They're not serving the people. Story done. No more conversation. Done. Finish. Irfan Ali, if you think that the Guyanese people are going to bow to you, you got a wrong thought, man. I knew these guys would have take these things like cash distribution and all these kind of things and use it against the people. Look how you guys used that during that speech. You guys knew exactly that was the reason why the people joined for that speech. The people don't want to hear any more of your garbage. They joined for that. And just like they expected, you guys disappoint them. You disappoint them. Ladies and gentlemen, as we close in on time tonight, okay, let's don't set modest goals for the new year. Let's go there and let's put some real solid goals out there. Let's not be modest. Let's go big. Let's set our standards high. Look, I am merely a presenter on this program. I'm by craft a public accountant. I'm not the leader of any party. Right? I come and I work here for you guys. Oh yes, I work for you guys. I would like to see every leader think the same. If there's one thing that I would ask you guys to take a page from my book, is dedication, love and care. Always remember the people in all that you do. This is not an individual game. This is a people game. And if you're not for the people, exit. Keep it moving. Don't come here for money. Come here to serve the people. Come here to serve the people. Ladies and gentlemen, we must put it in our minds, ingrain it in our brain, that never again, once we're able to rid ourselves of the PPP, never again must we ever see a government of this nature in the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, leading the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. And to all on sundry in the opposition, I have one thing for you guys. because it's going to happen. I believe that it's going to happen. The day, the hour that you guys take government, let's get in to these comprehensive audits. Zulfikar, your son, you, and all of you guys. I'm not trying to defame your character, right? I'm not trying to defame you. But you guys need to come out and tell the truth. You are telling me that if I am to perform a full scope audit on you, okay, for you to show me and for you to source all your wealth, all your capital, Zulfikar, Mustafa, that you're going to be on point with that salary that you've been making for the last 5 years? Are you really telling me that you are going to be on point? You know, when you come out and you say you mortgage property and all that stuff, you know you got to pose all them receipts and give me all that paperwork, right? You know what you're talking? I don't think you know what you're talking. Maybe Ashney is going to know a little of that. Go ask him. All right? Go ask him what a full scope is. All right? You can't deny me anything. Anything I want, you have to provide to me. You know, I'm going to say this. I'm going to move from strength to strength because once there's a new government, my pivot changes. I change pivot right away. Once a new government in place, I'm going to keep an eye with one eye on them. The other eye now is to go after all those people who thief from the Guyanese people. Y'all got to give back that money. Y'all have to give back that money. Y'all have to give back that money. I tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. I just come and I tell you guys the truth. I'm a bit jealous. You know why? Because I work so hard. I'm not going to say I'm poor, but what I'm going to say, the monies that I hear these guys just be calling out, and the mansions and castles that these guys own, to see how the Guyanese people are struggling, and to see people opening apartment building, and this person putting up a little skyscraper here, and that person's... Why is there such a large wealth gap between government officials and the normal everyday Guyanese? Why is there such a large wealth gap? And what is it that we're going to do to correct that? Winston Jordan, the Honorable Mr. Winston Jordan, would have served in multiple governments. Where is he? Yeah, he rise. And PPP supporters just come and say, APNU people thief. What the APNU people? Who is the APNU people that got the money? I don't see them. I don't see them. But when you look at you guys, it is despicable to see how you guys covet everything. To see the corruption under the PPP. Yeah? How the heck can the Speaker of the House, how can he ban the word corruption? That man has to be crazy. Well, now, Mansour Nadir, I'm going to say this right now. You are corrupt. You are corrupt. That's why you banned that word. That word should not be banned from Parliament. And you lucky you don't have somebody like me to deal with in Parliament. Because you would have suspended me and I would have embarrassed you all the time. You're biased. You're the worst Speaker of the House Guyana ever had. That's another position that we must never see another speaker like you. You was re-elected. You was re-elected to do the duties of Barry Jagdi on the PPP. That's what you was re-elected to do. Ladies and gentlemen, our executive producer have just made contact with me and indicated that the program can go until 9 a.m. So we will be here until 9. I want you guys to start pouring in with some of your comments so that I can start going through some of your comments. And I want to know what you guys have tabled for the new year again. What you guys would like to see. What is it that you guys would like to see? All right? You can talk from a perspective of holistic, the people of Guyana. You could talk about maybe the APNU. You could talk about the PNC. What do you want to see when it comes to PNC leadership? What do you want to see change in that leadership? What adjustments do you want to see that leadership team making? Yes, and I know it's not just PNC supporters here. There's going to be WIN supporters here. You guys are free to speak also because you guys are part of the opposition. You're a part of the opposition. Yes, Mr. Victor Ben. Bravo, thank you, Mr. Ben Chop. Yes, it comes all the way from the top. From the top to the executive producer to me when our program is extended. Neville Sital, what would you like to see? What would you like to change? I see you talk something about Charan Das Prasad. I just hope good riddance. I just hope to God that we never have another politician like that. He sold the Guyanese people cheap. Yes, Margie, good question. Good question. I think we had a very similar question like this. How can you get the Guyanese people to actually pay attention to the issues in order to make a change to government? Yes. Excellent question. Excellent question. We have to start edifying the people. We have to start getting on the ground and edifying the people. The opposition needs to put together a good, robust security team to protect their people. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get fired up now. When the APNU AFC was in government 2015 to 2020, you guys tell me which PPP freedom fighter or whatever you want to call them, you understand me, was denied entry into Guyana, was harassed at Guyana's airport. Life was threatened. Tell me. There was no fear. Government wasn't threatening anybody. It was a real, true democracy. A true democracy. Voices of dissent was allowed. They were given the latitude and the platforms to speak. NCN was not 100% coalition. The PPP was allowed to use NCN. But PPP supporters and Guyanese in general, can't you see what the government that you just going to put your vote at that cup? Can't you see what they are? Don't look. Let's put aside your Mati from the opposition right now. But can't you guys see what this PPPC regime is doing to democracy? Ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about strength in a people, I have noticed this. And like I said, I don't hold back anything. African Guyanese don't go crying and bawling, I say this to some of the other ethnic groups out there, you talk big now. But if you have to wear the shoes that the African Guyanese today in Guyana is wearing, you would run and you would scream to the US amongst other nations. You would call and say, we're doing this to you, we're doing that to you, we're doing the other to you. I just warning. But I hope that God keep me, that when we have that change of government and you guys come and holler on stream, I'll be right here to deal with you accordingly. Because when you have when was the right time for you to holler on stream? You're in hall and scream about how your party, the League Party in government, is treating every gay Guyanese right now. You got your big half pink house, right? You got your big salmon looking house, right? Yes, the PPP works for you. It's working for you. But what about others? What about others? And the thing about it, a lot of you have businesses. Don't underestimate the power of social media and what we can do to your business markets across Guyana. Do not underestimate us. The PPP will be forced to work with the opposition parties in 2026. I'm saying this right here, right now. They will be forced if the Guyanese people are willing to listen. That's if the Guyanese people are willing to listen. They have to understand their value. They have to understand their rights. They have rights just like any minister. You guys have rights in Guyana just like any minister. These ministers are merely high-level public servants. And sometimes, guys, let me be honest. I am sorry sometimes I'm forced to use the word high-level because there's nothing high-level about them. I would love to at some point have a sit down with a couple of these PPP ministers, man. If you hear, look, these people kill me. Their standards are so low. Their standards are so low. I was watching some post, and the PPP supporters are talking about how good Anil is, Anil Nandalal, and oh yes, we're gonna replace him with Sanjeev Databin. Both of them, atrocious. 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 I say that confidently. Atrocious. I would just set the Honorable Senior Counsel, Mr. Roysdale Ford, and a Dexter Todd on those two, and it's game over. Dr. Dexter Todd, game over. I'm sorry, you guys might say, "Oh, Wayne, look at the colors you choose, two men that look like you." But I'm just saying, I just picked those two out. Those two just stood out to me. I would just throw the two of them out there and they'll go in for the kill. Game over. So y'all be careful what y'all talking about. Sanjeev Dattadin? Are you kidding me? Sanjeev Dattadin can't even see objectively. I don't even know if that man knows that there's a ward or something called being objective. And Anil Nandalal, he's just flat out dunce. That's it. He's just dunce. He read the law books upside down. He's dunce. That's my opinion on him. And I gotta reach out to my friend Comrade Ford and ask him to send Anil some new notes. Because he might have make rain wet the last one said that he get from Comrade Roysdale Ford, Senior Counsel. All right? I'm confident in this opposition going into 2026. Again, that's providing that all on sundry is on one accord. I want to say also as we close out 2025, I want to take a 1 minute to just say a big up to the Honorable Comrade Sherrod Duncan. When I see Sherrod Duncan, I see a true leader. I see an egoless leader. I see a leader that is for the people, by the people, always on the ground with the people, spends time with the people. I see a leader that if he's not on 1 day, 2 day, he misses the people. And in the context of everything that I'm seeing, Sherrod Duncan means a lot to this fight. Right? And I would like to see him recognize a bit more. That's my opinion. I have a right to my opinion. Right? In my book, to you, Mr. Sherrod Duncan, I thank you for the job that you've done in 2025. And you've been doing it for a while. I actually get latched into politics watching Mr. Mark Benchcoff's Straight Up show with and he's covering the results of the 2020 elections with the Honorable Sherrod Duncan and the Honorable Mr. Christopher Jones and Mr. Randolph Critchlow. And that is what locked me into this whole thing. Until getting connected with Mark. Sherrod Duncan, come to the front of the class. Opposition, you guys need to use Sherrod Duncan correctly. Okay? He's the type of guy that would get the people out. All right? He is the type of person that will get the people out because he has a relationship with the people. That's important. He's not going to hurt you. He's an asset. He has the blueprint for every other member of parliament. Find a way to get involved with the people. Sherrod has degrees in communication. So he uses that through programming, amongst other things, to get grounded with the people. I'm just merely using him as an example here. And also saying why I appreciate him and the work that I've seen from him. Thank you. I think I've taken my time. I just wanted to let that be known as we close out 2025. Another thing, Sherrod Duncan program is one of the programs that I can sit down and just watch. All right? Good. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We're closing in on time for this program and time for 2025, man. It was real good. It was real good. I think we've done a lot of great things on this platform. I want to really, really thank Mr. Mark Anthony Benchop for allowing us the latitude to have these programs every Saturday. And I believe that these programs would have been very, 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 very beneficial to our people and will continue to do so, be beneficial to our people. I will, in the new year, we're going to be having a lot of guests. You know, I've already have a few people earmarked already to come on. All right. And we're going to be moving from strength to strength. Again, like I say to you, my brothers and sisters, do not set modest goals. Let's be aggressive in our goal setting, man. All right. We all have a shelf life. Sometimes, guys, we cannot wait too long to see change, right? Because we all have a shelf life. Change, we have to accelerate change. And that's our goal in 2026. We are going to accelerate the change in Guyana. And the leaders needs to be on board with our narrative, which is an acceleration of that change. Not at the 24th hour. Then you're hearing, oh, Win and APNU come together. No. Win and APNU and the whole entire opposition need to be together by the end of January 2026. I'm saying this to the leaders. All right, January is a very slow month. Find a way to get engaged. Okay? Find a way to get engaged. And if anyone is playing with their ego, they ought to be exposed. We don't care who you are. You have taken an oath to serve the people of Guyana, and that is what you're going to do in 2026. or give the position up to someone who is willing to take the position and serve the people. There's always somebody else out there on the bench. And like I said, there are very smart people in the communities across Guyana that are willing and able to serve the people of Guyana. So let's not get carried away with our doctorates and our degrees and all these kind of things. No, man, this is about servitude. This is about servitude to the Cooperative Republic of Guyana and its people. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, I want to point out one more thing. We still have 10 minutes left. I want to quickly touch on that issue that would have occurred in Vredenhoek where the police officer would have been shot. Sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, we don't know. Because with families, sometimes they receive compensation from the government and they don't say anything to us. So we are not aware of where the story at, what the latest and greatest on the story. But anyway, that owner of that business, he had an issue, he had a gun issue where he was allegedly found with an illegal firearm before. So he's got a firearm issue. And just based on that alone, he should not have been awarded a licensed firearm. So that shows you that there's a lot of quacks and a lot of gray areas in our system. All right? And to that family of that fallen police comrade, I tell you guys, I say this to you guys. Go big. All right? Go big. Not no $24 million if you're going to accept compensation from the government. Go big. I'll say this on this program live. A black man's life is worth way more than $24 million. I may repeat it again. The life of an African Guyanese man is worth way more than $24 million. Our men in Guyana needs to stop shooting up and murdering each other. Because when you shoot up and you fight each other, it empowers other people to just execute you because you don't worth anything. Remember, this is one Guyana, and one Guyana is not catering for the African Guyanese. Society is not designed to see African Guyanese succeed in large numbers in Guyana. I must say thanks to all the freedom fighters out there, Dr. Hines, Mark Benchcop, all of them, myself, everybody who have been fighting for free education. We have been complaining for free education. So when you guys look at the fact now that you have free education to an extent, because what I'm hearing is not totally free. Okay? Don't thank the PPP. Thank the freedom fighters that would have been fighting for you guys to once again have free education. All right, to you young people out there, free education is not something new. It's been there. The PPP took it away in 1992 or 93. All right? So when we talk about our people lacking education and lacking the motivation to be successful, those 23 years of conditioning, that is what would have put the Guyanese people in the state that they're in today. We are dealing today with the repercussions of that. All right? And part of our strategy, ladies and gentlemen, should be to re-educate the Guyanese people. How much money we offer as a party is not going to eradicate poverty. Our people ability to pick the right fight and stick with that fight and not allow They're focused to be swayed by the old dollar that can be an evil thing. Right? It can be an evil thing. Money's not evil. It's we. We just do evil. The evil that men do for money. Okay? Right? We cannot allow ourselves to be swayed. All right? Yeah. In 1994, PPP took it away. Thank you, former minister, parliamentarian MP, Miss Annette Ferguson. You're invited to be here on one of these programs in January. I have now gone ahead and invited you publicly. So you need to prepare yourself and send me back communication as to when you're going to be here. At some point, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to also have the Honorable Senior Counsel, Mr. Roysdale Ford, here also. We need to have a candid conversation. We are going to be having some good people on these programs. You guys prepare to be edified, to be engaged in 2026. We're taking this to a whole different level. Young Guyanese historian, Brother Israel Garden, is going to be back on here very soon. All right? We got to keep moving from strength to strength on this program, on this platform, and each and every one of us individually also. We are going to keep moving from strength to strength in 2026. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, we are not holding hands. We are locking arms. Okay? We are locking arms. They can't separate us. All right? So, to the APNU, to win, Forward Guyana Movement, Liberty and Justice Party, Dr. Simona Brooms, Forward Guyana Movement, AFC, all on sundry. Let's get this done. Let it be all of you guys' New Year's resolution that by the end of January, that all of you guys are working on one accord. You are sharing information. You are strategizing. And please, the Guyanese people are tired being hurt by double agents. Can we please not have any double agents for a change? Can we please not have any double agents for a change? Guyanese people, I need to start treating them serious, the ones who playing double agents. All right? All right, my brothers and sisters, we have now come to 3 minutes, and I'm going to prepare to wrap up now. I want to say to each and every one of you guys, I thank you so much for supporting this platform, supporting this Over to You program. You guys have built this program into something. Not me, you guys. It's you guys. It's your program. You've built it into something else. You know, I know that you guys are going to do more with this program next year. All right. Again, set your goals high. We have places to go in 2026. All right? We have places to go, brothers and sisters, in 2026. We want to see the back of the PPPC. That should be the goal. No more battles. We are only fighting wars now. No more battles. The time for battling is over. Everybody has established how many seats they have. Work with your seats. Work together. And let's get the PPP out of here. They will not change. Citizens of Guyana, listen to me carefully. The PPP will not change. Look how many opportunities you guys have given them to change. They ain't changing. You're the ones who got to make the change. All right? You are the ones who got to make the change. I say this as I leave. God bless the entire opposition. Brothers and sisters, stay safe as we move our way into 2026. Wherever you are, whether you're in the diaspora, whether you're down on the ground in Guyana, please be careful as you traverse the highways and byways. Don't drive for yourself, drive for yourself and others. All right. If you're going out to a function, and pick your functions carefully, pick the places you go to carefully. I don't want anybody to get injured or hurt. To the people on the ground in Guyana, man, you go out, enjoy yourself. Leave your firearms at home. For those who have firearms, leave it at home, man. Let's have good old fun the way we used to in Guyana. All right? We are not a cowboy nation. Let's start demonstrating that we are not a cowboy nation. All right? It is now 9 p.m. on the dot here in the United States of America, and I am assuming 10 p.m. on the dot in the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. Until next Saturday, I say to all of you, love you, love you, love you. Over to you. Good night.